What's going on, all you lunatics? And welcome back to the show. Today we're going to be talking about how to trade Pokemon on an Anbernic. Today we're going to be playing on the Anbernic. I'm using the Anbernic RG35XXSP and the Anbernic RG34XXSP. Additionally, we could be using the Anbernic RG35XX Pro. We will be running multiplayer games as well. So this is how to trade Pokemon and run multiplayer. So what we need is two Anbernics running the same operating system. So it doesn't matter if we're running Android, we both need to be running Android, or if we're running Linux like these models, then they both need to be running Linux. So we need to also have identical ROMs running the same core. So when you load up the game, each game, before you load up the ROM, you can press, I believe it's the Y button, and it'll pull up the core menu option to check to see which core that you're on. Both devices obviously need to be connected to Wi-Fi, connect to the internet. If you guys are going to be trading over the internet, you could do so in the Anbernic settings. So turn on your game before you load up any emulators. Just go to the far right, go to the settings, connect to the network, connect to your Wi-Fi. Now that we're connected to the network and everything's all good, we're loading up identical ROMs, running the same core, and we're both running Linux. And you don't have to be running the same model, just the same operating system. All right, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to click on the menu button. Click on the menu button. We're going to go to... You're going to back out of all the menus. We're going to go down to Net Play. So we go to Net Play, and then we're going to go to Host on Player 1 device. We're going to have a Player 2 device. So, and we're, load up the game, same identical ROM. Today we're playing, this is Pokemon Fire Red on the Game Boy, for the Game Boy Advance, on both systems loaded up. They do for Pokemon, they do also need to be the same gen Pokemon. So Pokemon Yellow can't trade with Pokemon Yellow for the Game Boy cannot trade with Pokemon Fire Red for the Game Boy Advance. Likewise, Game Boy Advance can't trade with Pokemon Diamond for the Nintendo DS. Can't do it. All right, so we go to Host. Now, if you're going to be playing online through an open internet connection, you're going to want to make sure that you turn the use relay server. You're going to turn that on. And whenever you turn that on, it's going to put you, it's going to give you the relay server. For now, I'm just going to leave that off. Also, real quick, I just want to let you guys know that it is better to trade your Pokemon and stuff and to do two-player connections on the same Wi-Fi. Over the open internet connection, trading Pokemon sometimes can be a little wonky, and you might get a little bit of a disconnect depending on your signals, your ping, and all that. So for right now, for the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the network play. I'm going to just go ahead and leave that off for now and hit yes, hit go. So we're going to go ahead and host the network. I'm going to see a message there on the bottom of the screen that says port mapping failed and the room is not connectable from the internet. So I am not using that relay server. Now with player 2, we're going to go ahead and hit the menu button. We're going to back out. We're going to go to the net play option. And then we're going to go to refresh NetPlay LAN list. So the LAN, local area network, that is you got to be on the same Wi-Fi. So search LAN. If you were doing open internet, you're going to search refresh NetPlay host list instead. So we're doing a LAN, so I'm going to refresh NetPlay LAN list, and then I'm going to find I see my name there. I do have my name set up, but even though I have my name set up, it still shows up as anonymous. But we can look to see that I'm anonymous, that I am in fact connected and playing Fire Red. You can see all that information. It's really hard to see with the cameras, but you can see all that information in the I'm going the wrong direction, in the tiny print. So the tiny print on the screen gives you the information of the games and whatnot. So that's me there, anonymous. So I click on it. As soon as I click on the button, boom, you'll see the message at the bottom of the screen. Anonymous 2 has joined as player 2. So that's me. And if you're on the open network, you'll see a long list of other players. You have to pay attention more to the small text if the names aren't popping up. So now that we're connected to trade the Pokemon, also, in order to trade the Pokemon in game, you need to be progressed in the game, catch the Pokemon, and have access to the trade center in the Poke Center in game. You need to have at least that much progress and trade, or you have to catch, a couple of Pokemon, like something simple, like a Pidgey or a Caterpie or something. Even if it's to catch something or to trade something, you still need a Pokemon or two. All right, so it's going to go through the in-game saving. But yeah, that's basically it to connect any game. Not just trading Pokemon. We can boot up any game in the same manner, and we can play. All right, so one of us needs to be player 1, the leader, and then I will join the group with player 2. Looks like I had to click I had to choose the trainer. Then I gotta accept. But yeah, that is basically it. We are connected and trading Pokemon. All right, we can see me moving this player with this button. Then we can see me moving that player with that button. And there it is, trading Pokemon. That easy. 2026 Anbernic. This is the RG 35 XXSP. This one is the 34 XXSP. And I just ordered, coming in the mail, as the brand new Anbernic SP. I ordered it in Pearl Pink, so can't wait for it to arrive. So now, if you want to trade Pokemon, you just select one that you want to trade, and then you select it. Then on the other one, we just select it. Let's do it. Oh, I thought I clicked it. There it goes. I had to click the button. So there it is. Tra- Trading a Pidgey for my Mewtwo. I do have the game completed on my yellow Anbernic RG34 XXSP here. All right. Well, yeah, I don't know if I like that trade. So I'm going to go ahead and trade that back real quick. Like, I don't mean to take up anybody's precious time. I just don't want to lose I don't want to lose my precious Mewtwo. Welcome back home. All right, so we just cancel out of that. And there it is. That is Pokemon trading. We can go ahead and stop net play. And we can back out of this game. And let's load up. Let's load up another game real quick, and I'll show you guys more more multiplayer. We'll play Super C. Where are we at? All right, so we just go to net play. We back out of all the as far back as we can go, and we can look on the main menu. Is going to have the net play. We go to net play, and we can go to host, and I think yeah, I think this time we're gonna go ahead and leave the. I think it was this on the whole time. It's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the relay server on, and we'll start the netplay host. So it did restart the game. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. Looks like it mapping failed. Not connectable to the internet. That's okay if you ever get that message. All you gotta do is go back to netplay host, stop the netplay host, and then start it up again. Make sure the server is on. It is this one here. This use relay server. Just make sure that's on. Everything else can be whatever it is. We'll just leave it, and then we'll hopefully not get that message, which looks like we didn't. So GG's. And then we back out of everything. Go to the net play as player 2. We go to net play. And then we're going to refresh net play host list, not the LAN list like we did for the LAN, for the Wi-Fi being on the same Wi-Fi. We're going to go ahead and go to open internet. So refresh net play host list. So once we refresh that one, we'll see a nice long list of players playing openly. And there we are, anonymous playing Super C USA. So whenever we click the button, boop, there it is. You'll see player 2 has joined the message there. So now I am player 2 with the 34, and player 1, we'll go to 2 players here. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, that. You know what? Yeah, it's not too bad. It's now on player 2 here. You can see a little bit of lag. It actually doesn't look that bad on. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. That's definitely playable. Whoops. You suck, player 1. All right, so that's it. You see how it is. You see what's done. You see how it's done. You can, play over an open connection. 2 Anbernics. You just simply need 2 Anbernics running the same operating system, running identical ROMs. So just make sure you get them from the same place, running the same core. That's important. You gotta, whenever you're running the core, here I'll show you on the one that you can actually see. Let me load up and show you what the cores look like. Oop, go to net play. I'll stop the host. Ha, that's funny. So now I'm player 1 down here. I was player 2, now I'm player 1. That's funny. All right, so we'll go ahead and end this. We'll end this out. I guess if you ever get disconnected, you'll end up still playing your game. All right, so whenever you're running your games, obviously we're never going to run games from the game rooms. We're always going to run from RA game. We're never touching TF card 1. It's got the operating system on it. Leave it alone. We're going to run games from our ROMs off of TF card 2. We're going to go to whatever game we're trying to play multiplayer, whether it be N64 Mario Party or NES Mario Brothers 3 or something. It doesn't matter which. We need to, number one, have the same operating system, which is these are Linux based. Other Anbernics also have Android. So make sure that you're got the same operating system. Then we have to have identical ROMs. So make sure that we're both running. I can't be on Mario Brothers 3 and my partner on Super C. It doesn't work that way. We both need to have the same ROM open, and we also need to have the same core. So now before we open the ROM, you'll see at the bottom of the screen there, press Y to select core. So we can all just simply press the Y button. We press the Y button, it shows up a list of cores. So these are the list of cores. Now, if any of these numbers and letters mean anything to anybody, awesome. What matters is that they need to be the same. So if I'm running FCEUMM, Libretro, libretro, I can read libretro.so, then my partner has got to also be running the same core on the ROM in order to connect the multiplayer. And then that's it. We need to make sure, obviously, we're connected to Bluetooth. All we got to do to connect to Bluetooth is go all the way over to our settings in our, main menu, and then go down to network settings, and then Wi-Fi settings. So you click on this, you set up your Wi-Fi, you connect to it, make sure both players are connected to Wi-Fi. Again, for a faster, better connection, do LAN. Have the host don't do the relay. Leave the relay turned off, and then um, yeah, player two connect through the LAN instead of network. And yeah, just have a second player refresh the NetPlay host or the NetPlay LAN. And yeah, again, if you're sharing the Wi-Fi, it's better. And then just you got to search. You got to read the fine print, read to see what your partner's trying to do, and then pay attention to host versus player one be the host, I guess, and then player two be the connecting player. Just keep it simple. Player one host it, player two connect it, and just keep it simple, guys. That's just the way life usually is, you know. So we'll keep it simple. And yeah, that's it. Search the game, connect, and enjoy. That is literally my last line of text here. Connect and enjoy. That's it. Have some fun, play some games. We're gonna have a long list of multiplayer games to connect to and play. Mario Kart for the SNES or the SFC, the Super Famicom. We'll have a long list. Mario Party for the N64. A lot of games to play and choose from. All right, guys, this has been how to trade Pokemon and play multiplayer over, Wi-Fi, LAN, local area network connection, or just open internet using the relay. Make sure you're turn the relay on, and then have player two just search the name. You do have the option to change your name in your settings, but sometimes it still shows up just as anonymous. So read the fine print. You got to read the small words under the big words to see what games our friends are playing. All right, everybody. Don't forget, if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns about Anbernics or anything like that, feel free to shoot me a DM, leave a comment, and yeah, or join us live on Twitch weekdays starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's Lucian Plays All Day. All right, everybody. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. Bye.